It's the Middle Ages and you're a nun, and it's kind of great if you don't mind a really early morning start, because you get to read books and have a bit of an education, and you're a lot less likely to die from the complications of childbirth, which in the medieval era was very dangerous indeed. There's just one problem: you crave the D, and if there's one thing nuns are not meant to do, it's the lying down Olympics with the local stable boy. But you sure want to, because you are Joan of Leeds. Joan of Leeds finds life boring at St Clement's by York Priory, where she resides as a Benedictine nun. This means a whole lot of learning, praying, working and reading. Reading alone, reading whilst eating, strictly 2 meals a day, reading in the infirmary and more reading. It means no worldly possessions and unhesitating obedience. Benedictine rules say that one of the 12 steps to heaven is do not readily laugh. Not a problem for Joan right now. For some reason she wasn't enjoying the 6 a.m. start after the last service at 3 a.m. There's also prayers at 9 p.m. and midnight as well as throughout the day, and she's certainly not enjoying her vows of poverty and in particular chastity. The only organ grinding that's going on in the Abbey is during church choir. Joan may well have been admitted to the priory against her will as an adolescent, and at this point she's just not into it anymore, because why should she be tending the Abbey vegetable patch when she could be doing squat thrusts in the cucumber patch, if you catch my drift? Instead of holy knowledge, Joan's all about pursuing the carnal knowledge. But there'll be no exploring Prunania when Joan's life is strictly about knowing the Bible rather than knowing someone else in the biblical sense. Joan may well have met a local lad, seeing as the priory had a reputation for frequent access by outsiders who, as the Archbishop writes, can lead the nuns astray. But there's no knight in shining armour coming to enter the castle and commit assault with a friendly weapon in some gland-to-gland combat and rescue Joan away from here. So she's going to have to take matters into her own hands if she ever wants some bam-bam in the ham. So what does she do? Well, first, she gives the video a like and subscribes, and then she comes up with a crazy idea to abscond from the Abbey. Here's the plan. Joan feigns a mortal illness. Alas, she is dead. She isn't. Joan builds a dummy of herself, and her colleagues bury it in holy sacred ground in a fake funeral. Here's a question. Did her fellow nuns aid her willingly, or were they tricked? Seeing as these are educated women, many of whom may have been admitted to the order against their will, I'm going to say that they knew the score. I mean, they're nuns, but they're still women, and they understand Joan's need for a midnight jockey ride. A little pants romance, if you will. Joan runs off to Beverly, a lovely parish just 30 miles away, where she happily resides, and can finally freely give the dog a bone whenever she wants to, because Joan is living with her man, causing a local scandal. What with Joan now dipping the wick, and I don't mean she's making candles. The Archbishop of York, William Melton, gets wind of this and is furious, because he thinks there's nothing funny business about doing the devil's dance in the sheets. So the Archbishop writes to the local religious authorities of Joan's diversion to favour oscillating the unmentionables over complying with the Benedictine lifestyle, and he demands Joan's return to St Clement's. He wrote, "She perverted her path of life arrogantly to the way of carnal lust. She now wanders at large to the notorious peril to her soul," which frankly makes Joan sound cool as f***. Did she return to the priory? We don't know. The Archbishop had sent his letters and done his duty, and there's no evidence that he did any more than that. So what do you think? Was Joan dragged back to the Abbey, or did she remain at large, swapping being on her knees for Jesus for going heels to Jesus? I like to think that to this very day, Joan of Leeds prowls the Yorkshire moors, seeking out amorous congress, realising her yearning to be burying the weasel at the bedroom rodeo. If you enjoyed this saucy story, slap and tickle that like button, subscribe, and check out this video about Henry VIII's mistresses for more torrid tales of tarts.